This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
How would you like to get more customers, make more profits, and have bigger breakthroughs? Get Doberman Dan's Profit Boosting Breakthroughs. Normally, this would cost you $98 per month, but right now, for listening to this show, he's giving you a free copy of his Doberman Dan letter. All you have to do is go to DobermanDan.com and sign up to get your free copy now.
Prepare yourself for the uncensored, nothing held back, no BS reality of how business and life really work. Doberman Dan is off the chain.
You are listening to the Off the Chain show with your man, Doberman Dan, and we're going to jump into part 2 of his interview with Katie Vogel from Agora Financial. So let's just jump on in.
So it's designed to be evergreen. And that's the goal. That hopefully it can be used on and on.
Well, that'll be good. Yeah. Yeah, I know. We'd have to brainstorm something. But I mean, Zach has some really great credibility with his files. I mean, even if we warm up to the launch of it to his internal files and maybe we do a special price for the LIR subscribers. I mean, we're bringing in a ton of LIR names right now. LIR is Lifetime Income Report. That's Zach's front end file. It's like a terrible habit. We talk in acronyms.
Yes, I've learned the Agora acronym. Are there still times I have to ask what they mean, though?
Yeah. So Zach's front end file is Lifetime Income Report. And right now that has 2 working promotions for it that we are scaling across all of our channels. We're actually trying to get, right now it's killing it on Facebook and Google, and we're trying to get it on Yahoo right now, which would probably jump us up 200 or 300 orders a day. So it's really a good time to be launching a income on demand promo, honestly, Dan.
Well, that's good news for me.
Yeah, you should think about writing, partnering with Matt Inslee is the publisher, the franchise publisher for that, and think about some ways we can warm up the file beforehand.
Yeah, Matt and I have been talking. That's one thing about Agora Financial. You guys are so easy to work with. I mean, I've met people in all different departments, and everybody's just so laid back and easy to work with, and it makes it fun.
Yeah. So I don't know how much your listeners know about the Agora world, but, we're owned by Agora Greater, we call it, which is, a globally owned company, or global company. And in Baltimore, I think there's half a dozen financial publishers that we are our direct competitors, which is very incestuous and brilliant at the same time because we compete against each other, but the revenue all goes to the same place at the end of the year. And we always say that each division has its own culture and its own, style of doing things, its own way of running the business. So we're kind of like a really dysfunctional family. And we are. That's the best way that I can describe it to people. And Agora Financial, which I obviously think is the far superior than all the rest, I always say it's the really laid back, chill, cousin or something.
Yeah, that's a great description. That's accurate.
Yeah.
So I'm fond of calling a certain business model the JSTDT model, which for me stands for just sell the damn thing. Are you guys doing anything with opt-ins? Do you build opt-in lists, or is the way a new customer comes into Agora Financial is they have to buy something?
We started way back in the day, and by way back in the day, I think I mean 2007 or something like that, with PPC, lead gen, and stuff like that. And it really it didn't work out for us. It didn't back out. So those customers we brought in on lead gen just weren't worth as much. Their lifetime value wasn't nearly as high as the customers we brought in as paid subscribers. So I think it's probably been about 6 years now. We totally scrapped all of our lead generation campaigns and went straight to paid. We put all our resources marketing wise towards straight to paid acquisition. And because in the financial world, our lifetime values are so much higher, and because Agora is such a large organization and we have the benefit of a large cash flow, we acquire all of our customers, all our paid customers at a loss. So we acquire them all at about 80% of break even is the goal. And then we know we can make that up within 6 months. And those customers are worth far more than leads. Now, with that said, now that we are really chugging along and bringing in, 1,000, 1,500 new customers a day, I'm kind of got my eye back on the lead gen side, to be honest.
Do you
with
really? What are you thinking?
Recently, I reached out to somebody in the industry who I know has worked with one of our sister companies and just kills it in the lead gen world. And I met with him and he was like, "What's your goal?" And I was like, "Look, I really don't know if this is going to work for us. And I don't want to put any resources internally towards it because I don't want to like distract anybody, but I want to be at 80% of break even in 30 days. And he was like, "What the copy you guys have?" He was like, "Easy, done." So we're really close to launching some lead gen campaigns. And we haven't done that in seriously like 6 years.
Oh, really? Now that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah. It's just, I kind of look at it as diversifying our marketing strategy. You diversify your investments. What happens if Facebook's like, we don't want any more direct response marketers? It'd be the worst decision they ever make because we're the ones that spend money. But, they've done it. Taboola basically cut us all out last year. So you never know. And this would be a way for us to get more compliant copy on these networks is kind of what I'm thinking.
Can we talk about the networks? Because I keep hearing these horror stories that it's like a daily struggle to stay on top of them. And how difficult are they to work with? And which ones are the ones you mostly focus on?
It's the worst. You're like,
that itself is a full-time gig, right? Or more full-time?
Yes, it is constant. I mean, you have to they are very fickle. They are constantly changing their policy. They're constantly, changing staff. And then the staff has different opinions on, what is compliant and what's not compliant. The management of the policy department seem to keep changing because, for whatever reason. And it is a constant battle. So I would say by far, what used to be that Yahoo was the absolute worst. It was their policy department was very, very difficult to work with. They also did not want to talk to you directly. So you had to communicate with your rep. And then the rep would maybe be able to get somebody from policy to give feedback to them on. I got lucky. And after begging and begging, shamelessly begging, I got on the phone with the head of the Yahoo policy department. And for like 45 minutes to the minute, they were like, "You have 2 minutes left," and really explained our business to them. And he was like, "I feel a lot more comfortable about what you guys are doing." And since then, we kind of have agreed upon a process for getting pre-approval from Yahoo. And we work really well with their policy department. Then Taboola kind of decided they hated everybody. And they have subsequently gotten, you can't get any health copy up on Taboola, no survival copy. Well, not no, but very limited survival copy. They really just kind of shut the door in our face, I guess, Thanksgiving of last year. Maybe, no, I was on maternity leave. Time goes by. I guess it was the Thanksgiving of the year before. But anyways.
What was the deal with that? Just Agora Financial or all direct response?
All direct response. They clean.
Do they just want these big brand advertisers like Ford that don't track results and give them a lot of money? Is that the deal?
So what we've seen happen time and time again, it happened with Google, it happened with Yahoo, it happened with Taboola. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to happen with Rev Content and Outbrain at some point, is that they build their businesses with direct response media buyers. And that's how they get we are the number one spenders of media. And they build their business. And then all of a sudden, it's like they develop a conscience and they're like, "Oh, you know what? We only want to promote Coca-Cola." And I'm like, you can't do that. That's not how this game works. And every time it has been to the detriment of their business. And they are like that for 6 months to a year. And then they come back full circle and they're like, "Okay, you know what? We actually like making money." So they open up the opportunities again to us. So it's just cyclical. I mean, Google literally shut us down. We weren't on Google for I'm pretty sure a year and a half to 2 years. And then they kind of changed course a little bit. And now, Google's pretty easy for us to get our copy compliant and approved.
Really?
Same with same with Yahoo. I mean, they were really hard on us 2 years ago. And now, we have a pretty smooth, little bit more smoother relationship with them.
With both financial and health stuff?
Yeah, even with the financial and health stuff. I mean, the worst part about the policy on every network is the lack of transparency. That is the infuriating part. You will have a promo humming. I mean, spending $20,000, $30,000 a day on one single campaign. And all of a sudden you wake up the next morning and the whole thing has been shut down and you have no explanation. And you're just like, all right, so you go reach out to your rep and kind of try to piece it together, but you're at the mercy of either robots or people that wake up one day and decide they don't like what you're saying.
Wow. Now, how many people do you have that work directly just on placements with the networks?
Right now, we have one dedicated Yahoo person, one dedicated Facebook person, one dedicated Google person. So that's 3. We have a senior marketer who oversees all of those. And then that's 4. So we have 4 in-house. And then we have, actually 5 in-house. And then we have a pretty close ties with a vendor in New York that we work with as well. And they do a little bit of the overflow because we definitely are completely at our bandwidth.
This, so it takes those people keeping on top of that. Like somebody's just assigned to Facebook, that's their full-time job.
Their whole
so
job,
it makes me wonder when these kitchen table businesses or these smaller players are like, they want to get on Facebook and they want to do it all themselves. They're going to write the copy. They're going to put the website up. They're going to manage this. They're going to manage that. They're going to manage the Facebook account. I just think, dude, just keeping on top, making sure your ads stay on Facebook is a full-time job. I mean, I don't see you making that work unless you have a full-time person on it.
Yeah. I mean, I've never like done the entrepreneurial launching of a new business, but if I did do that, I would probably divide and conquer and say, one person needs to be focused on writing copy and sourcing product, and another person needs to be dedicated to the traffic. Because I mean, Joe's whole equation, like copy plus traffic equals boom. Like that's how you blow a business up. Like you really have to think about those as 2 roles, like copy / product, and then traffic as its own thing.
Right. So do you find that the most successful promos are the ones where the copywriter is doing all that we talked about earlier? They're brainstorming with you. They're coming up with a special thing for certain segments, or maybe they're doing a special event that related to something. And are those the ones you see blow up really big?
I think those are the type of copywriters who are the most successful in our business because they get involved in the business. So they're not just writing copy. They are figuring out, how really they become invested in the business. And when you work with all the different departments, then you build that rapport. There's an art to making people want to work for you. And when marketers have ideas, if you're working on a piece of copy and you're in communication with them, you're going to be the most likely to get to use those ideas. Now that's for back end copy, like we said, like the higher price products. The front end copy is a little different. There's not really not often any campaigns that go into launching front end copy, but copywriters who are very responsive to our acquisition team for writing banner ads and lift notes and continuing to write those things, taking our suggestions when we say, this banner is getting great clicks, but maybe a lower conversion rate. Would you consider writing an alternate headline and lead based on this idea? Those are the copywriters that are successful in the external. Scott Bordelli, who wrote our best performing piece of copy last year, that he is one of the best copywriters to work with. He is so responsive, and anything you need, he'll tell you exactly how long he needs to get it back to you. And he usually gets it back in a really timely manner.
I love it. He's the one who wrote the what's it called? The Penny Pot Profits? What's it called?
Yeah. Well, okay. Penny Pot Profits is the back end promo or the back end product. Yeah. It's like the marijuana stock promo. It's
he wrote the promo for the front end newsletter, right?
Yeah. Yeah. How to profit from the marijuana industry before it's legalized.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great hook.
Yeah, it's a really good one. And it's crazy. Our conservative market is buying that up. Every time we go, we get a lot of pushback on that copy, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to I don't want to alienate my my audience." I'm like, "No. They are eating this up. Just test it."
You know what? That's when I first thought about that. I thought, of course, I already knew that promo was a success, but I thought, man, this is going out to boomers and people in their 60s and 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I thought, man, wouldn't you think the older people would be like, well, I can't believe they're doing this. But then I thought about it and I thought, no, I mean, think about it. They were in their teens or 20s, when Woodstock was going on, the free love, baby, and smoking weed. So maybe that, even though they're the older conservative crowd, it resonates with something from their youth.
Yeah. I also just think that we have I don't know if it's something inherently about like an older audience in general, or just our older audience for the customers we're looking for. But they really live in that libertarian, laissez-faire world too. Like, just let me be, just let me do my thing. And so, obviously they don't want anybody messing with their social security, but
yeah, that's a biggie.
yeah.
So, how many copywriters do you have? How many in-house copywriters do you have right now? Do you know?
Oh my God. No, I could not accurately tell you that. I think in the building every day, if I had to guess, there's probably 10 in the building, exclusive contracted copywriters. I mean, I think we're probably at around 20 to 25 copywriters total.
And these are actual, although they may not work in the building every day, these are actually in-house copywriters employed by Agora Financial.
No, some of them are on contract, but they're on exclusive contracts. We only work with exclusive contracted copywriters at this point.
Gotcha. Let's talk about in your department, what are your needs there? What kind of talent are you looking for? Because one thing I discovered, there are people who listen to this podcast, and I have nights in my marketing Camelot that are these under the radar, A-list, top level people. So there might be somebody listening to this right now that is just a good fit for both of you, and maybe we could make that happen. So if you wouldn't mind sharing with me, like what kind of people you're looking for right now.
Well, we're always looking for just media buyers in general, but specifically, we really still need to beef up our display and native team. So we're actually trying to double it sometime in the next 6 to 9 months. So if anybody that's listening has a experience or proficiency in Yahoo, Google, or Facebook, especially Facebook, I have a really big need for a really senior level Facebook media buyer, then I would be all ears and would love to talk to them. We're same boat. I would prefer, we talk about some type of more exclusive, because I need somebody who's really going to be, I have plenty of copy. They would not be lacking for work.
This is something you want somebody to focus on. This can't be like a part-time thing.
No, this is like, I need you in it. And all of our marketers are on an incentive program based on the traffic they drive. So that's, a plus. We're one of the only Agora affiliates that does that, which is odd, but a benefit for us. And then I would say the other thing that we're looking for is, I still am looking for more people who can write short marketing copy. So Dan, I'm sure you can attest to how difficult it can be to write a really good lift note. And
heck yeah.
Yeah. But it's so important. I mean, if you don't have a good click through, like if you don't have a good short copy to click to your promo, there's not, like, your promo is only going to get so much traffic and so many orders. So that's such a critical part of our business. And for better or for worse, copywriters move on to the next project. And it's the marketing team's responsibility to keep writing new banner ads and new lift notes. And I expect every one of my marketers to be able to write copy so they can all write banner ads and lift notes. But I'm looking for somebody that will be their full-time gig, like just writing short copy. And again, specifically for our display and native team. And again, that person I'm looking for would be incentivized to help that team drive more traffic and bring in more names.
Somebody like that, somebody whose skill set matches up with that, the writing the short copy, which everybody thinks, short copy, that's easy. No, I found the shorter the copy, the harder it is. Mm-hmm. But somebody with that skill set who could just crank it out could do really, really well with you guys.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they would be a superstar. I mean, they would be making a name for themselves. And the copywriters, they're kind of, if you write a big package, like End of America, or even Ryan McGrath's Impact promo from last year that
did do like 30 million so far?
Yeah, like $28-30 million. You're like the Michael Jordan of our business at that point. And I'm horrible. I'm not like a big like sports person, so I can't make a really good analogy here. I kind of set myself down a path to fail. But there's something to be said about a person that would come in and assist those copywriters in just helping them helping with the short copy, because that's how you squeeze the life out of a promo. Like that's how you like keep a promo around for a long time. And that's how you come up with new alternate headlines and leads. The world of writing 5 or 6 alternate headlines and leads, down the road to try to breathe life back into a promo is kind of like, not that it's gone, but it's kind of backwards. You should write a banner ad. That's your idea for a headline and lead. We'll get you clicks and we'll get you data on how people respond to that idea, and then see, let them vote basically. And then we'll tell you how well your ideas worked, and then choose the best one and spend your time writing the headline and lead. So, somebody that can come in and write some really good short copy and, provide that longer life for promos would be, really make a name for themselves. And it's a great way for somebody who's kind of really newer to copywriting, or, might not have the confidence to come in and write copy for Agora. Because Dan, you can, it's like you said, it's like the Olympics of copywriting, and we have 25 copywriters who are very good. But yeah, if you were somebody who was, wanted to get their foot in the door, that would be a wonderful way. And you'd get exposed to the whole marketing strategy.
Yeah, exactly. And, in the interest of full disclosure, I have worked with Agora Financial, can continue to work with them. I helped launch the health business. Contrary to what I said I would never do, I just wrote a financial promo. I am a friend of Agora Financial, and I'm a cheerleader of Agora Financial. There's not a lot of companies that I put my name on and give it the Doberman Dan stamp of approval, but I do that with Agora Financial because of just everything. Mostly the people like you, Katie, and Joe Schriefer, and everybody there.
Well, we appreciate that.
In the really culture. And
yeah,
there are. I won't mention names. There are other businesses that are under the same banner, the Agora banner, that I cannot say that about. It's just a different culture,
Yeah,
you guys like incentivize your people
and that family.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if anybody has those skill sets that Katie's looking for, then they have my highest endorsement. You should check it out. It could be the opportunity of a lifetime. So how would they contact you, Katie?
I think the best way to get a hold of me would be through LinkedIn. It would probably be the easiest. You can just send me a message. My, LinkedIn handle, I guess, if you will, is KW Vogel, and that's V as in Victor, OGEL. So my maiden name was Wagner. So you can also just search for Catherine Vogel or Catherine Wagner, and it'll come up.
So I did a little sneaking around before we spoke today, and I can tell you with a Google search, I can find you on LinkedIn. So if they want to find you, they can find you.
Good. I think you have to especially if you put Baltimore in, if you Google search my name and then Baltimore, I think that probably get you there too. And
I think I searched your name, so it's Katie Vogel. That's what I searched by. Katie Vogel, VOGL, Agora Financial. And I found your LinkedIn page through that. I also found a very impressive spread in Baltimore Bride magazine, by the way.
Yeah. I did not know that I was Googleable, but I am so after you emailed me that, I went and Googled myself, which I honestly have never done. And I'm pretty proud of myself for being able to honestly say that. And it is the number one thing that pops up when you Google my name. Yeah.
And it's quite an impressive bunch of pictures and 150 people at your wedding. Wow. That was not a wedding.
Oh my gosh. It was so crazy. It was the day of this crazy derecho storm, and it knocked out power the day before. It knocked out power for 40,000 or 400,000 or something like that, people in Maryland. And so we had no air conditioning. It was it was the end of June. It was nuts, but we pulled it off, and we had an amazing photographer. So if you Google my name, you can look at the wedding pictures.
Yes, I can verify you had an amazing photographer. Those are great photos.
We didn't look sweaty somehow, but we were very sweaty.
That's a talented photographer. Well, hey, we got to run. I appreciate your time today. I learned a lot for my own selfish needs, and hopefully all the listeners will too. So, Katie, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, that's a wrap for another Off the Chain show. We'll be back in your earbuds next time. Thanks for listening, and remember, if you want to create rivers of revenue from your existing customers, then the next thing you need to do is go to DobermanDan.com. He's giving away a free copy of his $98 per month Doberman Dan letter just for listening to the show. Go to DobermanDan.com now and sign up for your free issue.
This is the podcastfactory.com.